right? You're getting crushed. Everything you post, because a lot of fans are concerned about said team that we were waving our hands and saying, this is not going to work. This short ass team's not going to work. And then you've got another thing, and we'll get to it in a second. But the Indiana Fever and their themed nights, right? You go to a game,
The Indiana Fever are facing mounting criticism from their fan base on multiple fronts heading into the final stretch of the preseason, and the frustration is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. One of the more pointed conversations picking up traction online centers on the team's announced schedule of themed game nights for the upcoming season. A post from a long-running Caitlin Clark fan account with nearly 7,000 followers highlighted the list of promotional nights the Fever have planned, which includes a season opener, Pride Night, Black Excellence Night, an Inspiring Women Night, International Night, a birthday celebration for a staff member, Pink for a Purpose, and a Fan Appreciation Night. What was conspicuously absent from that list, and what quickly became the focal point of the backlash, was any acknowledgement of America's 250th anniversary.
It's Star Wars night. We'll get to it. We will get to it. Wow. America's team. Okay. How about a little love for America? Does the Indiana Fever understand who their fan base is? Clearly they do not. Seriously. And they're in Indiana.
The country's semi-quincentennial falls this year, and the Fever, a franchise that has been openly marketed as America's team, largely due to its association with Caitlin Clark and her enormous patriotic following, made no room for it in their promotional calendar. The oversight struck a significant portion of the fanbase as a serious miscalculation. Indiana, as a state, leans strongly in the direction where that kind of celebration resonates deeply.
Seriously. And they're in Indiana. I can tell you right now, the ideology of Indiana and Texas, not that much different. Not that much different. Jesus. Right here, Indiana Fever posted this not too long ago. Preseason finale versus Nigeria. Oh, Johnny Apple. This is so good. Please, add Amber L. Cox. Sign or trade for some size.
Even the NFL, an organization that has taken considerable heat from traditional sports fans in recent years, incorporated the 250th anniversary into its draft festivities. The Fever's silence on the matter stood out sharply by comparison. The perception that the organization does not fully understand who its fan base actually is has been building for some time, and this situation added more weight to that view.
The plane, boss. That's after everybody watched the Wings butt F the Fever on the boards the other night. By the way, completely predicted. People were like, oh, this team's too short. It's not going to work out. Man, I got to tell you. Fever, good luck. Constructive.
The supporters who rallied around the team after Caitlin Clark arrived are not a casual, indifferent audience. They are engaged, vocal, and paying close attention to how the franchise conducts itself both on and off the court. When the team posts anything on social media at this point, the comment sections reflect that tension directly, with fans expressing concern about the roster, the front office decisions, and the overall direction of the organization.
Constructive criticism. I would like to see better screen set. Dantes needs to hit a couple of threes to spread the floor. 0 for 8 is an issue. If Passat gets healthy, I'd be working her in to see if she can spread the floor. Hopefully Sophie takes some shots today. Hopefully they pass the ball to Sophie today upon further review. And she doesn't get iced out. Ooh. Did that out of my mouth? Oh, no.
On the roster side, the injury situation continued to generate uncertainty. Lexi Hull is dealing with a hamstring issue. Justine Pat's status has been the subject of conflicting reports, with one journalist indicating she was hurt while Pat herself took to social media to push back on that characterization, suggesting the reporting should not be taken at face value.
Did that out of my mouth? Oh no. Oh no, out loud. I wouldn't be surprised if the Fever lose by more than 10. That's how bad they were Thursday night. I mean, why would the WNBA let the Fever host Nigeria if you had fans and players claiming they heard racial slurs at the game last year? Oh, right, because it didn't happen and they lied. You know what?
That kind of public contradiction between a player and the press rarely goes unnoticed, and it raised further questions about the internal communication coming out of the organization. Some fans have suggested the front office should prioritize finding a roster spot for Pat regardless of what it takes, with calls for the team to part ways with other roster pieces in order to make room. The depth and size concerns that have been discussed throughout the preseason were on full display during the previous game against the Dallas Wings, where Indiana struggled badly on the boards.
But we have not talked about that particular. Look at this. No thanks, clowns. Woo-wee. It's getting hot in here, let me tell you. We have not talked enough about fans not happy with how they were treated over that particular. Did they go to bat for their fans? No. They just bought right in.
Fans and observers who had been raising those structural issues prior to the season felt that performance validated their concerns. The team's shorter profile means that against physical opponents with length, rebounding, and interior defense become areas where the Fever are particularly exposed. The bench unit beyond the top rotation has not provided enough reassurance that the gap can be covered when starters rest.
Everybody cringes every time they see this. This comes up and everybody's just like, oh no. Lexi Hull out, hamstring, something. Here we are, Justine Passat out, something, lower leg, something. I love the vagueness of all this. At least you said she was out instead of day-to-day. Kind of interesting. Again,
if the current front office and coaching staff are unable to maximize what the franchise has in Caitlin Clark, the window could close faster than the organization appears to realize. The combination of roster shortcomings, a fan base that feels misunderstood, and promotional decisions that alienate a core segment of the team's most loyal supporters creates an environment where results on the court carry even more weight than usual. A slow start to the regular season under these conditions would likely intensify every one of these conversations considerably.
After landing on an opponent's foot, we're going to check out this footage real quick. So this is
Mo Billings still sitting.
Immediately, as you guys can see there, she tweaked her ankle.
That right ankle.
Pretty bad tweak there. She was able to walk off with her own record on the court. And, yeah, we didn't see Mo Billings no more the rest of the night. So hopefully everything is all well with Mo Billings, but we have to talk.
The Indiana Fever handled the Nigerian national team without much difficulty, but the conversation following the game quickly shifted to two separate developments, a Mo Billings injury scare and a wave of scrutiny directed at Raven Johnson over comments she made about Caitlin Clark. On the Billings situation, she came down awkwardly on an opponent's foot and tweaked her ankle during the contest. She was able to leave the court under her own power, but did not return for the remainder of the night.
But we have to talk about Raven Johnson. So it looked like Raven Johnson is in the ring of fire yet again with Indiana Fever fans. Now, this comes after she's been balling out. Raven Johnson had 9 points tonight, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. She's definitely showing that the draft pick was not a wasted gesture with getting her. Just like I told y'all, she was going to come, stand on business, and everybody was going to soon sing a different tune in regard.
Stephanie White addressed it briefly after the game, noting that Billings indicated she would be fine and that the standard protocol for ankle injuries would see her reevaluated the following day. White's delivery during that update was visibly tense, which is understandable given the contract the organization has invested in Billings and the timing of the injury heading into the regular season. The Raven Johnson situation is drawing more attention.
Is going to soon sing a different tune in regards to Mo Billings. In regards to Raven Johnson. Now, with that being said, Raven Johnson talked to a reporter after the game tonight, and this whole situation with her has went viral because now a lot of fans is questioning her authenticity with her comments about Caitlin Clark. A lot of people saying that she's full of it. Now, this is the clip immediately after the game.
Johnson put together a solid performance, 9 points, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, and 1 block, the kind of outing that reinforces why the organization selected her. But post-game comments she made about Caitlin Clark have triggered significant pushback from portions of the fan base. The issue centers on whether her praise of Clark is genuine or manufactured for public relations purposes.
That she's full of it. Now, this is the clip immediately after the game.
I think that goes, she helps me through every little thing. I could ask a question and she has an answer for it. So I think that's, just playing with somebody like her, it means a lot to me. But she's a great person.
To where now fans are saying this situation with Raven Johnson is coming off a bit scripted. As if she's not
Clark, she was helping me through all the hard times. She was helping me. I was like, what do I do here? Or where should I cut? I was asking her a lot of questions. And I think, with being a rookie and having a vet like that.
Several supporters have pointed out apparent contradictions between statements Johnson made during media day and what she said to a reporter immediately after this game, with some suggesting her remarks follow a script rather than reflect an authentic perspective. South Carolina fans, in particular, have been vocal in their skepticism. The underlying tension is not new. Johnson's connection to Clark has been a talking point since she joined the roster, but the consistency of her positive comments is now being read by some as performance rather than sincerity.
I cut. I was asking her a lot of questions, and I think, with being a rookie and having a vet like that, you should ask questions that you want to know. And I think I asked her probably 1,000 questions yesterday. So, Caitlin Clark, she was helping me through all.
Now, this was during the media day. Now, this was tonight.
She helps me through every little thing. I could ask a question and she has an answer for it. So I think that's just playing with somebody like her, it means a lot to me. But she's a great person. And I think that goes.
Now, fans is pretty much saying that this whole situation is scripted. And
whether the criticism is fair is debatable, but the perception has clearly taken hold in certain corners of the fan base. Defensively, the Fever remain a concern. Kelsey Mitchell raised the issue publicly, echoing observations that have circulated throughout the preseason.
And it very much pissing people off. Somebody said this is a hard part about it. In Flirting Fever FC, we have to fix this. Ain't no way the announcer said Raven Johnson and Ty learned point guard anything from Caitlin Clark. Somebody else said she can't learn from CC. She said it herself. Good Lord, you people need to help. Somebody else said Raven herself literally said she's had learning everything from Caitlin Clark. Now, these South Carolina fans, and all of these people is definitely mad. Indiana Fever fans saying that this whole situation with Raven Johnson could be scripted, and she could be saying this to win over the fan base. Whatever the situation is regarding Raven Johnson, it is looking a little spooky. I'll be one of the first people to tell y'all it is. It is looking a little spooky right now, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. But let's listen to this.
It felt great. The energy.
Defensive energy was higher, the pace was better, and the activity level improved compared to the previous outing. She acknowledged the problems: 34 free throw attempts surrendered, 10 offensive rebounds conceded, 18 turnovers, but framed them as correctable issues tied to a roster still processing a large volume of new information. The week-long break before the next game gives the coaching staff a chance to address areas of slippage in both film sessions and on-court work, and to get some new concepts into the rotation before the regular season opens.
Let's listen to this.
It felt great. The energy was high. I was super excited to play in a real game again, so that was great.
There was a couple times in that first half, it looked like you guys were running a set with you as the ball handler and Caitlin or Kelsey setting screens for you. when was the last time you were the pick and roll ball handler? But then also, I guess what's just kind of your mindset? It's obviously a lot different role for you in that type of play.
Yeah, I think, Steph and Staff drove a great play. For me, just making sure I'm making the right reads, see if they pull over, then look for the shooters, because obviously Caitlin.
The decision to hold starters out of the second half was deliberate. White explained the priority was to evaluate combinations that had not had much time together, while maintaining the defensive standard and ball movement principles the staff has emphasized throughout camp. The results were mixed, but the intent was developmental rather than competitive.